Ex-lovers with a complicated past decide to draw a line in their relationship over an unpaid car loan.
I called it a situationship. I wanted somebody to fill out my time, and that's what it was.
I found out that she was married, and she never told me that.
You got pregnant with his child. Your husband gets out of jail, and what do you tell him?
And later, a Minneapolis tenant and her former landlord find themselves in a tight spot when a temporary housing arrangement comes to an abrupt end.
She fixed up her phone where she was not accepting any calls.
The way she's explaining this is not actual facts.
Notice isn't, I'm going to be gone in 2 days, peace out.
Plaintiff Malia Thomas says the defendant asked her to co-sign on a car, but stopped making payments, forcing her to pay off the loan. She's suing for a refund on a loan settlement and pain and suffering. Defendant Joshua Fortes says he doesn't know because Malia was his girlfriend at the time, and she gave him the car as a gift.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Thomas versus Fuertes.
Thank you, Juan. Malia Thomas?
Yes, ma'am.
You were suing the defendant Joshua Fuertes?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $5,000 you say he owes you. $4,500 of that is for a loan settlement you paid for a car.
Yes, ma'am.
And $500 of that is for pain and suffering.
Yes.
So why don't we start from the beginning? Give me some background on the two of you.
I met Mr. Fortes in 2007. We dated on and off right up until the time I had my son. We have a son together. Right before April, around March, he didn't have a car. He needed a car, so he asked me to help him get a car. I co-signed for it.
Were the two of you in a relationship at the time, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how were things going then?
It was all right then, up until the point of the car breaking.
Were you living together?
No.
But you were in a relationship?
Yes.
And you just had a son?
Yes.
How did the conversation about the car come up?
He had just gotten a really good job. He said, I need a car to get back and forth, to get the baby to go to work and that type of thing. And I said, okay, I'll help you.
And what did you agree to do?
I just co-signed, and that he was going to be responsible for his notes and his insurance and that type of deal.
But you're a co-signer on the car?
Yes.
Is that the agreement?
I was just supposed to pay the insurance.
What do you say the agreement was?
She was supposed to pay the $200 car note. We broke up. She didn't want to pay the car note anymore, so it stuck me with the payments.
What year was that? When was the breakup?
2012.
Same year?
Yes.
May I see the title and the registration paperwork for the car? Where's the car now? Who has it?
We had to junk it because the car broke.
You had to junk it?
Yes.
When did you junk it?
2012.
Everything happened in 2012?
It broke 3 weeks after we got the car.
Why did the two of you break up?
It's a lot.
I have time.
But at the moment, I found out that she was married.
Okay.
And she never told me that.
Coming up, additional details emerge about the agreement to purchase the car.
When I co-signed for this car for him, there was never verbal agreement or written anything that said I would buy him this car.
And that's when the car payments started coming in from her.
Well, that was a discrepancy with the loan holder.
You call that a discrepancy?
And later, miscommunication causes a temporary housing arrangement to end badly.
I didn't know when I would move.
Miss Clooney was only going to stay a month.
And what ends up happening in the end is you tell her 2 days before, I'm gone.
Plaintiff Malia Thomas says she was doing Joshua a favor when she co-signed on the car. She's suing for a refund on a loan settlement and pain and suffering. Defendant Joshua Fortes says he doesn't know because Malia gave him the car as a gift.
How did you find out she was married?
She told me after the fact.
Okay.
That's not true either.
So you're saying that's not true? What is true?
When I met him in 2007, I was not married.
This breakup is obviously a big part of this case,
Yes.
right? Because he's saying that's when everything changed.
Right.
Were you, in fact, married and he did not know you were married?
No.
He knew?
He knew.
Okay, and why do you say he knew? Did you tell him?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and he was okay with that?
Yes, he was.
What do you
No,
have to
Your
say
Honor,
about that?
She did not tell me
Yes.
that.
How do you say you found out?
She told me after it was too late. She
Okay.
told me after the car broke.
I met him in 2007. I got married in 2008. So we were like an on-again, off-again relationship.
Her husband was in jail, Your Honor.
He was, and that's why I was dealing with him.
So you got married after you met him and
Yes.
started dating him in 2007?
Yes.
And you got married, your husband went to jail when?
he was already in jail when
You married him while he was in jail?
Yes.
Why? I mean, I know there's a shortage, but is it really that dire?
That's just who I chose to be with.
Baffles me too.
Well, no, you didn't just choose to be with him because you're also in a relationship with the defendant.
He knew all of this going into the relationship. I called it a situationship because I wanted somebody to fill out my time, and that's what it was.
Did your husband get out of jail at some point?
Yes, he did.
When?
In 2013.
And that's when the car payments started coming in from her. When he got out of jail, my son was born. When I went to the hospital, he was there with her and my son. When I left the hospital is when I started getting calls about me paying for this car.
No.
How many children do you have, sir?
I have 5.
Are you finished or are you done?
I'm done.
You got pregnant with his child. Your husband gets out of jail, and what do you tell him?
I had already told him before he came home what had happened and
Are
what
you
was
still
going
married
on.
to him?
Yes, I am.
Where is he now?
Jail. Again.
But that has absolutely nothing to do with this. That has absolutely nothing to do with this. I never said, oh, I'm going to go and why would I buy you a car?
Well, he does.
It
It does have something to do with it because he's saying all of this happened because he broke up with you because he found out that...
He did not break up with me.
I'm telling you what his version
Okay.
is. I'm listening to your side. I'm
Okay.
listening to his side.
Okay.
Okay? Two completely different stories here.
Right.
And he's saying the reason is the fact that your husband got out of jail, and that's when you want to be in this relationship with him now. Let me ask you something. This car is in your name. It's not in the defendant's name.
Well, that was a discrepancy with the loan holder. They put
A discrepancy? You call that a discrepancy?
Well,
Isn't
I
that
didn't
something that
realize
you want to
that-
get corrected if you're the co-signer on a car? Because
I
let me
did
tell you,
not
exactly.
realize that until they started sending me letters saying that the car was in default.
you know what? I can't accept that testimony. I can't accept that. You are a grown woman. You say you want to co-sign on a car for someone. I don't have proof that it was a co-sign.
I have
proof
the
that you're
paper
the
here.
owner of the car.
I've never ridden in the car. I've never driven the car. I've never paid
Listen,
anything on
he
the
said
car.
you bought the car for him.
Why would I buy him a car? He has a son.
Listen, why do you do a lot of things? Why do you marry somebody who's in prison?
When I co-signed for this car for him, there was never any verbal agreement or written anything that said I would buy him this car.
Let me tell you something. People do this all the time. It's not my first rodeo. I have people in here all the time for whatever reason. It's mostly women who buy cars for their boyfriends.
But
I don't know why they do it. The only question is, was there an agreement between the two of you after you purchased this car that he would be the one solely responsible for making the payments on the car?
Yes.
And I don't have a text message, I don't have an email, I don't have a contract, I don't have anything in writing stating that was the case. Here's what we're going to do. I'm not convinced. Maybe you'll know now not to buy cars to put cars in your name for other people, because it's really hard for you to come into court and prove to me, now that I know your relationship with this man and everything that transpired over the last several years, it's really hard for you to come in and rebut that presumption that this was a car that you bought for him. Our judgment in this case is for the defendant. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think the judgment was fair, and she looked through the lies and saw the truth and everything.
I think Judge Faith's judgment was unfair because I would not buy him a car.
Plaintiff Tony McCloney says the defendant agreed to give her a rent refund when she was ready to move, but then refused. She's suing for the return of rent paid. Defendant Kelly Gaines says she doesn't know because Tony told her she was moving 3 different times, but didn't. And when she finally did move, gave only a few days' notice. She's countersuing for a month's rent, change lot fees, and lost wages.
Tony McCloney,
Yes.
you are suing the defendant Kelly Gaines
Yes, ma'am.
for $183 you say she owes you for rent.
Correct.
You're countersuing, ma'am, for $896 you say the plaintiff owes you for a month's rent, changing locks, and lost wages.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I take it from your complaint, Ms. McCloney, you were a tenant in a home that the defendant was leasing to you. Tell me what happened here.
My cousin introduced me to Kelly because she rents a house from him for the same purpose. She rents out rooms.
Okay, so you were renting a room in this house?
Yes, not in my cousin's house, but in another house that she also manages.
Actually, Your Honor, it's not me that she personally rents from. It's a nonprofit that I founded about 4 years ago.
Okay, but it's your nonprofit?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have a home?
I have several. We have 8 locations in the Twin Cities areas.
Okay, and is it for low-income residents? How does this work?
Actually, it's for people who fall in between the cracks. Let's say, for example, like Ms. McCloney, who wasn't closing on her house and had nowhere to go. And so in a day's notice, we gave her a place to stay.
Okay.
We work with youth that are in reoccurring homelessness. We also work with people who've lost employment. It just depends on their individual situation, but we come as an answer to crisis.
So you heard about her program through your cousin, and you rented a room in one of the houses, right?
I rented a room from her, stating I didn't know when I would move because I didn't know when the deal would come through.
Okay, you're closing on the home that
Right.
you're purchasing. When did you first move into the home, ma'am?
I moved in January the 19th of this year.
And how much was your rent?
$500 per month.
Okay, and there was no written lease between the two
No,
of you?
there was no
It was
written
completely
lease.
oral. Why not have a paper trail of what the agreement is when you're leasing?
Ms. Clooney was only going to stay a month, right? And so it was 3 weeks, she thought, for the closing, so we said, let's just do a month.
So do you normally have people sign leases?
Absolutely, ma'am.
Okay, so you made an exception in this
This was an
case.
exception due to our business relationship with her cousin,
Okay.
as well as it was going to be very short.
So you're month to month at this point. You
No,
moved
I was
in
not
January.
month to month. I paid the first one month to month.
Okay, but let me explain something to you.
okay.
Under the law, you're month to month. If it's not an annual lease at this point, nothing is written, you're month to month. So you move in January 19th. When do you move out?
I move out on May the 7th.
And you're suing because you paid for the month of May and you want some of that money back?
Yes, because she had stated we will refund any rent to secure my staying there. And
so-
during the meantime, I told her that I was going to look for a cheaper place to stay because I was paying her $500 and $200 in storage.
The way she's explaining this is not actual facts.
Coming up on Judge Faith, text messages puts Miss Tony's claims of proper notice in question.
She sends me a text saying, I'm probably going to move. This is the 5th time in 5 months that I've heard from her, I'm leaving.
She's asking you, I need a date.
Plaintiff Tony McCloney says Kelly promised her a rent refund if she moved out early. She's suing for the return of rent paid. Defendant Kelly Gaines says she doesn't owe because Tony didn't give her proper notice when she moved. She's countersuing for a month's rent, change lock fees, and lost wages.
Okay, I understand you were there from January to May. I'm trying to understand what the agreement was between the two of you about refunding you money. Do you have anything in writing to
Yes,
support
I
what you're
do,
saying?
Your Honor.
May I see that?
Okay.
Let me hear from you.
Miss Tony gave a notice on several occasions that she would be moving. Starting in January, she was going to move in February, and then February, she was going to move in March. We stated in an email that I would no longer take weekly payments from her, that I couldn't do that we had made the exception to the rule, and that we would need month-to-month payments. What I told her is with proper notice on the closing with her home, that we could then discuss if there was any monies owed back.
What is proper notice?
Proper notice is I'm closing in 3 weeks, Kelly.
And here's the problem, because proper notice to you, you're saying I have a closing date in 3 weeks. Proper notice to her could be I'm closing in 5 days.
Well,
what does
ma'am,
proper
say
notice
any
mean?
notice.
Ma'am,
what does that
Honor.
mean?
Can I finish what I'm saying? So on April 30th, she gave me a month and a half notice in writing. And I said, okay, you'll be exiting the property on April 30th. So the agreement is that she was going to stay until she did find a home and close on that
So when was the
home.
first time you heard she was leaving on May 7th?
It was May 5th when I was on vacation, and she called complaining, her and another tenant at the property called complaining about the heat. One didn't want the heat on, the other wanted it on. I said, you guys are adults, I'm on vacation, I'm not getting ready to listen to this. So the other part of this, she sends me a text saying, I'm probably gonna move. This is the 5th time in 5 months that I've heard from her, I'm leaving, okay? I say, great. Contact me after May 13th so we can discuss the details. The next conversation I got from Miss Tony was none.
No, I have emailed her. She fixed up her phone where she was not accepting any calls because it was filled with messages. I text her and everything else, and she didn't want to hear
What's
from me.
your counterclaim about?
My counterclaim is because, Your Honor, as a part of, I founded this organization, I get no outside funding. I pay out of my pocket when people disappear like that, so I did have to pay the bills for Miss Tony the next month.
Tell me about the $100 you say you spent on lock fees.
I have no key from Miss Tony
What
either.
happened to the keys?
I put the key in between two towels, and I told her this. I have it in
Two
the
towels?
Yeah, on the dresser.
Okay, that's not how you return keys. I've gone through this evidence. I see at least 5 different times you've told the defendant you're going to move out on 5 different dates.
Yeah, because
for whatever reason,
thought I was
no,
going to...
ma'am, it doesn't matter. Because the issue is, by law, proper notice is 30 days notice. Your defense in this case is she excused that 30 days notice and she told
Correct.
you could move out whenever you wanted to and she would refund you the rest of the money.
That's right.
And what ends up happening in the end is you tell her 2 days before, I'm gone. The reason why notice is required is because they can have an opportunity to rent to someone else in a timely fashion. Notice isn't, I'm going to be gone in 2 days, peace out.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
So in this case, we have no written lease. By law, however, you still are required to give 30 days notice before you vacate. That way, she has an opportunity to lease your room to someone else and not be out of a month's rent. But here's what you did. You didn't stick to the law. The two of you had a side agreement that she could move out as long as she gave you some kind of notice. What is some kind of notice? What does that really mean? And so in this case, she didn't give you much notice at all. When she moved out, she only gave you a few days and then she was gone. Now you're suing because you're saying, I paid for all these days, I left, she owes me for the days that I paid for when I wasn't there, $183. I'm not gonna order her to give you that money back. Why? Because she worked with you time and again on a move out date, and you kept moving that date around because of your closing. That's not her fault, but she tried to work with you. I don't even understand why you're bringing this lawsuit. I think she was more than fair to you. Now, then you're counterclaiming, and you want not only to keep the $183, but you then want another $500, an additional month's rent. Well, you know that wasn't the agreement between the two of you. You know she never expected to pay you another month's rent if she did not give you 30 days notice. You wanted some kind of notice. I find that 2 days wasn't sufficient, which is why I'm allowing her to keep the $183. Judgment in this case is for the defendant.
I wasn't aware of the 30-day notice you were supposed to get when you don't have a lease signed. Now I do.
My hope is that, she does close on her house tomorrow so she can stop causing chaos to the rest of the American people.
Santa's helper is forced to come to court to collect on a holiday fender bender.
I saw him backing up and I was like, ba, 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 ba. Then all of a sudden, bam, truck hit me in the front.
He came out in the Santa Claus suit.
I knew right then that if I did not call the police and report this, that I would be a litigant. Because I watched the show, I know to call the police.
But a bad decision lands one of these holiday helpers on the naughty list.
I told him, I said, look, man, the first thing the problem's gonna be is I'm gonna get an estimate and you're not gonna like it.
I feel like I'm getting ripped off by Santa.
For all the kids watching today, perhaps, you were one of Santa's helpers.
I was absolutely one of
because he can't
Santa's
be
helpers.
everywhere at one time.
Plaintiff Ida Hills says she was leaving the mall parking lot after Christmas shopping when the defendant backed into her vehicle. She's suing for damages to her car. She's accompanied in court today by her husband, Andre Hills. Defendant Henry Jackson says he owes nothing because the accident was not his fault since Ida was distracted by a cell phone call.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Hills versus Jackson.
Thank you, Juan. Ida Hills,
Yes.
you are suing the defendant Henry Jackson
Yes.
for $2,300 for damages to your car you say he caused.
Yes, ma'am.
And your husband, Andre Hills, is your witness today?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we start with you, Ms. Hills? Tell me the date of this incident and what happened.
It was in December. We were at a mall. My husband Andre was playing Santa Claus at a mall, and so it was Christmas time. There was a lot of festivities going on. I was going out the exit because
what,
I had
parking lot?
the parking lot. I had to leave and go get more candy for the kids.
And what
So
time of day was this?
This was during maybe noon. Around
So this
noon,
was daylight.
It was daylight.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And so I was leaving out of the parking lot. There were people coming from both ways. So the parking lot was pretty full. Everybody trying to get their last minute Christmas gifts. So everybody was coming to one line, and the defendant was in front of me. And all of a sudden, the defendant was coming. I saw him backing up, and I was like, bop, 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 bop. And then I was
Blowing your horn.
Blowing my horn. And he obviously didn't
Mr.
hear
Jackson,
me.
you'll get your chance.
And then I blow my horn again, bam, 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 and I couldn't understand why he didn't hear me. Then all of a sudden, bam, truck hit me in the front.
So he backed
He was
into
in a
you?
big truck, yes, ma'am.
And was he coming out of a parking space, or was
No,
he?
everybody was trying to get into one line going out of the park.
Okay.
He was in front of me. So if there was someone behind me, I couldn't back up because I saw him coming back. That's the reason I blew my horn twice. I saw him coming back, but I couldn't back up. So
Were you in the car with her?
No, ma'am.
You were not. So you didn't actually see the accident?
No.
Because you were inside with the kids.
Playing.
I was
Santa.
inside with the kids being Santa.
Well, for all the kids watching today, perhaps you were one of Santa's helpers that
I was
day,
absolutely one of
because he can't
Santa's
be
helpers.
everywhere at one time.
I
So
was
you
definitely
were
a helper.
helping Santa. Okay, great. That's great. Okay, what do you say happened?
Well, like she said, the mall parking lot was jam-packed. It was mayhem. In a big truck.
What kind of car? What kind of truck?
It's an Avalanche.
Okay, and you were
Chevy
driving what kind of car,
Avalanche.
ma'am?
200 Chrysler, limited edition. Yeah.
What year?
What year is it, Trey?
2013.
Okay, 2013. Okay.
Yes.
So what do you say happened during the mayhem in the parking lot?
All right, so I can't go any further. So I put my truck in reverse. My foot is still on the gas. And I have to look in the mirror behind me because my car sits up high. So I look around me, foot still on the gas, and I release my foot off the gas. I back up maybe 2 feet, boom. And I'm like, what the? I thought maybe I hit one of the yellow guard posts or something. Mm-hmm. So I jumps out real quick, and I look, and there was Miss Ida right there. And I'm like, are you okay? And I noticed she had a cell phone. Mm-hmm. She said, yes, I'm okay. You kind of bagged into me. I said, well, when I looked in my rear view, you weren't there. And she said, well, I was honking my horn and trying to reverse. And I'm thinking like, hey, I understand you're a woman. And okay.
What is that supposed
pause.
to mean?
No pun intended. No pun intended.
No,
just hear me out.
I want to hear the rest of the statement.
Okay,
I'm
listen.
interested.
My
She's a
point
woman,
is,
so
you
what?
are not
She doesn't
an
know how to drive?
octopus. I'm saying she couldn't be doing multitasking like that, meaning she has a cell phone right here.
But you backed into her, right?
Yeah, because she wasn't there when I was looking in my rear view.
Well, obviously she was there because you hit her car.
Okay.
No, I'm just,
She
help
was
me
not
understand.
there, Your Honor. She was not
So where did she
there.
come from?
That's what I would like to know.
Coming up, the situation with Santa's helper gets more serious.
And I approached him, and the first thing he said to me, he said, sir, it's my fault. I hit your car.
Oh.
I'll take care of it, but let me come clean to you. My insurance just overlaps.
Did you say that to him? It's your fault? Sir?
He said that to me also.
Why the radio silence right now?
Plaintiff Ida Hills says Henry promised to pay, but then made excuses. She's suing for damages to her car. She's accompanied in court today by her husband, Andre Hills. Defendant Henry Jackson says he owes nothing because the accident wasn't his fault and he felt intimidated into paying.
So when you backed up, you say you looked in your rearview mirror.
Yeah, I bagged up 2 feet.
Okay.
2 feet. 1, 2.
I know what 2 feet is when you say that. It may be hard for you to understand that as a woman. I understand those things.
Okay, see, I see where we're going with this. I apologize, Judge. No pun intended with the woman thing. But when I bagged up, she was all of a sudden there. And when I got out and asked her, was she okay? She was fumbling with the phone, and she said, I was trying to put my car in reverse, and I was blowing the horn. I never heard a horn.
So what happened? You get out of the car. What's the conversation about? Who's responsible for this accident?
Well, when she got out of the vehicle and we began to talk, I had let her know that 3 days prior, my insurance had lapsed. So she called her husband, and he's on his way out. He's coming out with the
Why did your
Santa
insurance
suit.
lapse 3 days prior?
Because I lost my job.
3 days prior to this accident, you lost your job
No.
and your insurance?
No. No, I didn't. I was working 2 jobs. I lost my second job, and I didn't have the money to pay my insurance, pay my car note. I have 3 kids. I have a wife. I have a family. I mean, and without that second income, I didn't have the money to pay it.
So what
And this
happens?
is, keep in mind, this is around Christmas time.
Right.
This is 3-4 days before Christmas.
Right.
So when it came down to the insurance, in which I was going to pick it back up right after Christmas, when it came down to that, it was either pay your car note or pay the insurance. It made no sense to pay the insurance. You don't have a vehicle.
Well,
so I
here-
made an
but-
executive decision, and that's what I
But
did.
then you have an accident, right? Because
didn't
what
plan
happens
on
when
it.
you make the choice? Well, it's an accident. Of course, you didn't plan on it. But what happens when you make the choice to drive with no insurance and then you have an accident? And let's say you have thousands of dollars in damages in your car. It's either you pay now or you pay later. That's the decision you were making. You either pay your insurance or you run the risk of having an accident and then having to spend thousands of dollars out of pocket because you've decided to drive illegally with no insurance. I mean, by your logic, you pay now or you pay later. Which one is it going to be? Now you're here because they're telling you you have to pay later, but you're going to pay. So you're there, you tell them not to call the police because you don't have insurance and you don't want to get in trouble,
Well,
right?
we spoke, and he came out in the Santa Claus suit, and we began.
You have a problem with Santa too?
No, well, a little bit, because, hell, I feel like I'm getting ripped off by Santa.
Tell me what happened, sir. You come out and what happened?
Thank you, Your Honor. I came out, as he said, in my Santa suit. And my immediate response to my wife when I received the phone call that someone had backed into the car is, call the police. So she said, just come outside and speak with the guy. I said, baby, call the police. She said a third time, hey, could you just come outside and speak to this guy? Then I started thinking, well, we're in the mall and there's a lot going on. Maybe she's having a problem. So let me get outside here right now and see what's going on. So I go outside. The first thing I see is Mr. Jackson and my wife standing there talking. And I approached him. And the first thing he said to me, he said, sir, it's my fault. I hit your car.
Oh.
I'll take care of it. But let me come clean to you. My insurance just overlaps.
Did you say that to him? It's your fault? Sir?
He said that to me also.
Why the radio silence right now?
There's no radio silence.
Well, you're not talking.
What I did say
no,
was...
No, yes or no? Did you tell that? Did you say to him?
I'm trying to answer, Judge.
Yes or no? That's a yes.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
He said to me then, I'll take care of it. I promise I'll take care of it. And I told him right then, I knew right then that if I did not call the police and report this, that I would be a litigant. Because I watched the show, I know to call the police. But my wife was saying it's Christmas time, it was a season of giving, and I was thinking more about the same thing he just told you. I got kids, we was here getting gifts for my kids, I don't have insurance, my wife's telling me he may go to jail, so let's try to help him. So I thought, okay, I know this is wrong, but I'm going to try to help this man.
And not call the police and
not
just
call the
work it out
police.
between the two of you.
Right. And
So what happened at the scene? How did you work it out?
I told him, I said, look, man, the first thing the problem's going to be is I'm going to get an estimate and you're not going to like it. Because when you hit these cars nowadays, you can put a scratch on them and they want $1,000. Exactly what I said to him. And I said, so, you know, I don't...
Did you come up with a number figure at the scene?
No, I didn't. Not exactly, because I didn't know the estimate what it would cost. But what I did tell him about a number was, it's going to be, you can estimate it's going to be $1,000. When you scratch your car, it's $1,000.
And what did he say in response to that?
He said, if it's $1,000 or less, I'll take care of it right away.
Is that what you said?
Not exactly, Your Honor. What was said was...
No. What did you say? Did you have a discussion about $1,000?
Yes, we did.
And what was your response to that?
I brought that up.
Did you say you would take care of it if it were $1,000
exactly.
or less?
I did say that part.
I mean, you're not acting like someone who is totally not at fault for an accident. You didn't see anyone behind you, and you backed up, and all of a sudden she's there on her phone.
Your Honor,
you're
I'm
not
trying
acting
to plead
like
my
that at the
case.
scene.
I mean, can I get a chance?
You've had a chance. I let you tell your entire side of this, but then when they talk, they're telling me details that you omitted from your version of events.
Coming up on Judge Faith, evidence reveals new details about the holiday fender bender.
You hold up your driver's license, you state your full name for the record, and you say, I backed into her bumper. And then you say you're going to take care of it. And then you sign a document. You say, this is a promissory note, and I'm signing it.
I didn't know I needed to divulge that information.
Really?
Plaintiff Ida Hill says she did Henry a favor by not calling the police when she found out he didn't have insurance. She's suing for damages to her car. She's accompanied in court today by her husband, Andre Hills. Defendant Henry Jackson says he owes nothing because the accident was Ida's fault.
May I see the estimate for the car?
The $1,000 was inflated anyway from the jump start because it was a little small scratch. I didn't even have a scratch on my vehicle.
Well, we're not talking about the amount of damages at this point. We're talking about the fact that right then and there at the scene, you admitted fault for the accident, took responsibility,
well,
and said you would pay.
The only reason I did that was because I felt a little intimidated. You see
From
how
Santa?
big? Yes. He's towering over me, and I'm like, okay, all right. So I just went along with it.
And how were you intimidated? What did he say that to intimidate you? Pay this or else?
Well, no.
I'll call the elves.
He was like, well, what are you going to do? And Santa does has elves. So, I don't know.
So did he threaten you? Did he say?
Well, no, Your Honor, he didn't threaten.
He didn't threaten you.
But
did he get in your face and point his finger in your face?
Not really.
You had a conversation, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't really feel threatened.
I did
or
feel
coerced,
pressure for the
right?
simple fact they both were like in front of me, and like I said, he has a deep voice, and I was.
I'm sorry. This is kind of ridiculous. Can you show the video you submitted, ma'am?
I, Henry Jackson, backed into her bumper, and this is a promissory note to pay.
So not only did you admit fault on tape, you hold up your driver's license, you state your full name for the record, and you say, I backed into her bumper. And then you say you're going to take care of it. And then you sign a document. You say, this is a promissory note, and I'm signing it. I don't understand how you're here today. I don't understand how you're here today telling me
Your Honor,
this defense that you're stating.
I was paying him.
Did you forget that there was video?
No, I knew about all of that.
And you just omitted that part from your testimony today? Because I don't see anything about it in your statement, your answer to the court, and you didn't tell me about it when you testified today.
Well, I didn't know I needed to divulge that information.
Really?
That's their job to put that out there, not mine.
No, well, your job is to come in and tell the truth. We did swear him in, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you omit salient facts, you're trying to hide something from me. That's what I think. And so
I'm not trying to hide anything, Judge. And
Did you pay him anything?
Yes, I did.
How much?
Starting off, the first payment was $200.
Okay. Is that all?
Yes, because the next payment that was due, we had an ice storm in Atlanta. Okay, the city shuts down. They're not equipped with that. Now, this happened on a Friday evening. We were supposed to meet on Saturday morning.
Sir, what day was the ice storm on?
That was on a Friday.
What month?
January the...
Okay, so that was 5 months ago. There was an ice storm 5 months ago. And so from that day to this day, you haven't been able to pay him any money because of ice storm 5 months ago?
No, let me finish. He didn't want, after that ice storm, and we were supposed to meet that Saturday, and we didn't, I texted him on a Sunday and told him, here, I have X amount of money. He declined that and said, I will see you in court. I was trying to pay him.
Is that true? He was trying to pay you and you wouldn't accept his money?
Your Honor.
Somehow I have a hard time believing that.
And there's a reason for it, Your Honor. When it doesn't make sense, there's a reason for that. And that doesn't make sense because we had an agreement that he would pay $350. And I asked him, do not breach under any circumstances this agreement, because once you breach, then I'm going to sue.
And what happened? He couldn't come up with $350?
He came up with $200. That's the second breach. The first breach was
Hold on a second.
Excuse me, sir. The first breach was if it was $1,000 or less, I can pay you right up front. I had several estimates. Some was $1,400, $1,500, $1,300, but I took the lowest estimate. I got one for just about $1,000. I said, okay, since he said he can pay for $1,000, I'll let the guy do it for $1,000, which is less than what.
So what happens? Long story short, he didn't come up with the $1,000 like he said he would, and then you had an agreement that he would make payments in increments of $350. He was only coming up with partial payments, and you said, no, I don't want a partial payment. I'll have to take you to court.
Actually, I took the $200 the first time.
Okay, and the second time, what happened?
Second time, he didn't even show up to the meeting point. And I have to ride, instead of him coming to near where I live, I'm riding over to where he lives.
So you drove to meet him and he never showed up?
In that snowstorm he's talking about.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. You're also suing for lost wages. I'm not going to award that. You're also suing for your insurance deductible. I'm not going to award that. If you want the damages for your car, you get the damages for your car. If you want him to pay the $500 deductible, you get a $500 deductible, but you don't get both.
No, ma'am, I wasn't suing for the deductible. What I was suing for, the $500, was the depreciation value of the car.
Okay, no. Here's what we're going to do. He owes you for the damage to your car based on the estimate you've provided. It's $1,338 worth of damages. You did pay $200. I will credit you for that. Judgment in this case for the plaintiffs, $1,138. Good luck.
Yeah, call the police next time, because you never know when people say I'm a church-going person, and that's kind of a red flag at some point, or I'm gonna pay you with the taxes. So, yeah, maybe call the police next time.
I think I didn't get a chance to prove my case. I believe Santa Claus and his little antics cheered her on and helped her out. So, I don't know. I feel railroaded in a sense.
A conflict with a contractor turns a dream remodel into a kitchen nightmare.
He threatened me when I called and asked him about my money, and all he kept saying is, when the cabinets come in, I'll drop them on your porch.
She went up to Home Depot, smeared my name, told these people I did her wrong. I'm like, I don't make the cabinet.
Obviously, the two of you had words. That's not how this is going to end up happening today.
Plaintiff Shawnee Fentress says the defendant bullied and threatened her after she fired him for delaying her kitchen remodel. She's suing for a kitchen remodel refund and pain and suffering. Defendant Michael Evans says he owes nothing because he was ready to get the job done. And Shawnee ruined his reputation with her false allegations. He's countersuing for defamation of character and loss of income. He's accompanied in court today by Takesha DuBose.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Fentress versus Evans.
Thank you, Juan. Shawnee Fentress?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Michael Evans.
Yes.
For $5,000 for a refund for kitchen remodel services and pain and suffering due to threats you say he made against you?
Yes.
And you were countersuing, sir, for $5,000 for defamation of character and loss of income.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why don't we start with you, Ms. Fentress? I understand that you hired the defendant to do some remodeling in your kitchen.
Yes.
And it didn't work out.
Right.
Between the two of you, and now we're here. So what happened?
Okay, Mr. Evans was referred to me by his witness, Takesha.
How do you know her?
She used to do services for me. She was my masseuse, she was my nail tech, she did my pedicure, she did my hair.
So she did hair, nails, and massages?
And she's very good,
That's
yes.
pretty good.
Yes.
Okay. So how long have you known her?
At least 10 years.
10 years, so a long time. So you trust her judgment?
Exactly.
So she referred you to Mr. Evans. What kind of work did you need done in your home?
I needed my kitchen remodeled. So a total remodel, new cabinets, new sink, new ceiling, painting.
And are you a contractor, sir?
I ain't a contractor, but I just do the work because I'm good at doing the work.
Doing what work?
remodeling buildings, houses, and all that. I just do work for certain people. I don't do work for the public.
Not for the public, but for certain people?
Yeah, I don't
in
just
the public?
like advertise. I don't advertise my work because it's that good.
How long have you been doing work for people not in the public?
Well, I'm sorry about that. Say 40 years.
40 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you've been doing this most of your life?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're not a licensed contractor, but this is...
Right.
You don't have to have a license to remodel a kitchen?
You might have to have a license, but I don't have a license.
Okay, so you didn't check before you took this job?
No, I ain't checked because she asked me to do the job.
Whether or not she asked you or you volunteered or approached her is irrelevant. Did the two of you enter into a written agreement?
No, I kept asking him for a contract, and he never gave me one.
The total cost of the project would be what?
He told me $4,500.
$4,500, and you paid him $4,000
up front. Yes.
Up front, without him doing any work, and you don't have a written contract?
He was supposed to get me one, and he never did.
Let's stop talking about what he's supposed to do, because you're the person writing out a $4,000 check.
Okay.
Before you write out a check to someone, if you want a contract, you know what you have to do? Get the contract. So here we are. Tell me exactly what happened.
He dropped the cabinets off on a Friday, unannounced, 8 o'clock in the morning. I was still asleep. I wasn't expecting him. He didn't call and tell me he was coming, and he had these cabinets.
What day did you give him the $4,000 check?
I gave him the check on September the 11th.
Okay, the check is for not only materials, but labor, right?
Partial labor, yes.
Okay, and so he is supposed to purchase the materials?
Yes, the price included the materials and labor.
Okay, so he shows up with the cabinets how many days later?
The day I wrote the check, September the 11th.
Hold on a second. So September 11th, he shows up with cabinets?
Yes.
And you'd already given him a check for $4,000. So
no, I gave him the check the same day he bought the cabinets. Is the day I gave him the check.
I'm not confused about that, man.
Okay.
What I'm confused about is why is it an issue that he's bringing cabinets to put in your home when you've hired him that day and paid him that day?
I didn't know
why
he
is
was
that an
coming.
issue?
I didn't know he was coming that day. He came unannounced. I didn't know he was coming with cabinets that day.
It was just an inconvenience, is what you're saying.
It was unexpected. I knew he was going to do the work, but he never called to tell me when he was going to bring the cabinets. He just popped up.
I guess I've never had a litigant, be upset about someone showing up the same day with materials to start work on their kitchen. So he shows up with the cabinets. You're upset because it's 8 o'clock in the morning. You're sleeping. Does he do the work? Why are we here?
He dropped the cabinets off on a Friday. He told me to unpack my kitchen because he needed everything out of my kitchen so he could start the job that Monday. I was going out of town over the weekend, so I rushed and unpacked my kitchen like he told me. I put my stove in the basement. I put my refrigerator in the dining room. So my house was in shambles. I called him Sunday to see what time he was going to come Monday to begin the work. And he tells me, oh, we're missing some cabinets. I said, how many cabinets are we missing? He said, I don't know. After that, I told him I'm not happy because this was not the agreement, and I would have never given you that money if I knew you weren't going to start the work on Monday as you promised.
Well, did he tell you why there was a delay in not having all the cabinets?
Well, first of all, he should have known as a contractor that one of the cabinets is a special order. It's not a cabinet they ever keep stocked.
So he told you he has to special order these cabinets, and you're upset because there's a delay?
No, he did not tell me.
But you find out on Sunday, right?
No. Yes, Sunday he tells me all the cabinets are not there. He knew that Friday. He told me that he was going to start that job on Monday. How can you?
He tells you, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, he tells you on Sunday that he won't have all the cabinets to start working
after
the next
I called
day.
him.
It's only been 2 days at this point. Let me hear from you, sir.
This is what happened, ma'am. I went to the lady's house. I measured the kitchen. I told her I'm going to finish your job in a week. I never do a job. This is why people call me. I never do a job until all the materials are there. After I measured the kitchen out, she gave me the check. When she gave me the check, I went straight to Home Depot, purchased the cabinets. I came back to her house that same day.
I understand that because she's upset because you're there.
And then once I got back to the supplier, they told me that 2 cabinets was missing.
Okay, because they have to be special order.
They got to be special order because when you design, that's why I never tear out a customer's
Okay,
house.
but she's already packed up her kitchen. You tell her now
Ma'am, the kitchen was not packed up. I brought the cabinets into her home. I unloaded all the cabinets into the basement, made sure we ain't scratch them. Once I left her home, that's when don't never come back to my house. Don't do this. Don't do this.
So that's when you were fired?
That's when I was fired. But
you never went back to the house after that?
I never went back to the young lady's house since that day.
Coming up, the cost of the contractor is called into question.
It's more than just doing actual physical work. You got to do the measurements. You got to sit at the store and they got to design it. You got to order.
You're saying that the work that you did measuring the cabinets and going to the home improvement store is worth $2,500? Surely you're not telling me that.
Plaintiff Shawnee Fentress says the defendant refused to return her money after she was forced to fire him due to delays. She's suing for a kitchen remodel refund and pain and suffering. Defendant Michael Evans says he owes nothing because Shawnee overreacted when she fired him after she was told some of the cabinets needed to be special ordered. He's countersuing for defamation of character and loss of income.
Okay, so why did you fire him?
See, he's not telling the truth. He popped up with the cabinets. I gave him the check
paid for the cabinets.
after you bought them.
You're not. Okay, I need you to, I understand everything you told me. Why did you fire him at that point that week?
Because I felt that he deceived me, that he knew there was cabinets missing when he dropped them off on Friday and said that he was going to start Monday. As a contractor, if the sheet says you're supposed to have 16 cabinets and you only pick up 13, you should have known Friday there were 3 cabinets missing. Okay. How do you don't know until 2 days later?
Why do you think that he is intentionally deceiving you for those 3 days? Because he tells you on Sunday.
To get my money, to lock me into the job.
Already had your money.
But you'd already paid him $4,000 before he went to purchase the cabinets.
No, that's not true. He bought we did an even exchange. I gave him the check at the time he bought the cabinets, not prior to.
Okay,
I gave him the check at the time he bought the cabinets.
I wouldn't pay for nobody cabinets. She gave me the check.
No.
I went to the bank. I cashed the check, came straight back to her home, brought the cabinets, didn't tell her that was none missing. Then, like I said, she called me back that Sunday.
So you're saying that he showed up with all of these cabinets and that's when you wrote him the check?
Yes.
And you're saying she gave you the check.
She gave me the check.
Because I want to tell you something. I don't know of many contractors, licensed or not, who do this kind of work, who would go and how much do the cabinets cost? Around more than $2,000?
About $2,000.
Okay, I don't know of many people, ma'am, who would go and spend $2,000 of their own money and then show up with these cabinets and wait for you to write them a check. In any event, you fired him.
Yes.
And you say now that he owes you for the labor. You're not suing him for the materials because you have those materials.
Right.
You're suing him for labor, $2,412, and then the remainder of your $5,000 lawsuit is for pain and suffering.
Yes.
What is that about?
He threatened me when I called and asked him about my money. You know, he said he would give it to me, but then he never did. And all he kept saying is, when the cabinets come in, I'll drop them on your porch. You don't leave cabinets on. I said, look, you're not doing the job. I don't want you bringing me the missing cabinets. Let my new contractor pick the new cabinets up. And he would not allow my new contractor to pick up the cabinets.
Okay, and so because at this point, you haven't actually started installing the cabinets, and she's told you she doesn't want you to do the work. Why are you keeping $2,400 in labor?
It's more than just doing actual physical work. You got to do the measurements. You got to sit at the store and they got to design it. You got to order. You got to.
I understand that those preliminary things you have to do, but surely that's not the bulk of the labor. You kept all of the money for labor.
She gave me
$2,400.
She didn't give. She purchased her cabinets and paid. We never had a contract. Once I would have got them cabinets there, she wanted walls knocked down.
Okay, sir, I need you to answer my question. The cabinets are roughly a little more than $1,500, and she's paid you $4,000. $2,500 remaining. You're saying that the work that you did measuring the cabinets and going to the home improvement store is worth $2,500? Surely you're not telling me that.
Yes, I'm saying it costs more.
How much did you had the work done in your kitchen?
Yes.
How much did you pay someone for labor for that work?
The young man charged me $1,500 for labor, and I had to buy the remaining of the materials.
So, may I see proof of that, please?
Yes.
So here we are. You're telling me that you're charging her $2,500 for measuring the cabinets and going to order them from the home improvement store?
No, ma'am.
Okay, that's what you did, but that's not how this is going to end up happening today. Okay?
Coming up on Judge Faith, the dispute over the kitchen remodel gets dirty.
So you get this anonymous message, your scary A needs to get a gun. and then you get another one and it says, how does it feel to live in the ghetto when Mike comes home to me every night? So this is supposed to be another woman, quote unquote, sending you a message about him?
Yes.
Okay.
Plaintiff Shawnee Fentress says the defendant threatened her when she asked for a refund. She's suing for a kitchen remodel refund and pain and suffering. Defendant Michael Evans says he owes nothing because Shawnee ruined his reputation with her false allegations. He's countersuing for defamation of character and loss of income.
I understand you submitted a voicemail to prove your pain and suffering case. What is that about?
Yes, like I said, when I called to ask him for my money back, he said, you better stop talking about me to his witness and to Home Depot. You don't know who you're dealing with. I'm from Dexter and Linwood, which is not a good part of town. That doesn't mean a good thing. I took that as a threat.
You're from Linwood?
Yeah,
Sir?
I took that as a threat.
Sir,
No, ma'am.
You're not from Linwood?
No, ma'am.
So you never told her you're from Linwood?
I don't even know this young lady's phone number.
Well, you know her. I
know her home.
Let me hear the voicemail.
What?
There's some cussing in here.
Threatening you. You threatening me? What the was that message about?
Listen at me. I ain't no kid. You don't sleep with me.
I want you.
Don't disrespect me. Don't come.
Why you disrespecting me?
How?
Why you ain't gave me my money back, Mike? What is taking you so long?
Don't call me. I'm do like I said I'm gonna do. Don't call me. Don't run up to Home Depot talking about me to nothing because I haven't wrong.
Oh, yes, you have. You ain't gave me my money back.
It came in, and when they come in, I'll put that in your front porch and don't talk to Keisha about me because Keisha ain't to do with me because I'm a man. That's all I got to say, and bye. And whatever you need to do it.
I will.
So I didn't hear any threats there.
She called me.
Listen,
I didn't call her.
I didn't hear any threats there, but what I do hear clearly, what's inferred from that conversation is at some point you told her you were going to give her money back.
Yes, I was, until she went up to Home Depot, smeared my name, told these people I did her wrong. I'm like, I don't make the cabinets. I don't design the I can't.
So you feel that she defamed your character?
She worse than defamed.
So how much money did you tell her you were going to give her back?
It really wasn't an amount. I said I was gonna give her back because I was just trying to get rid of the young lady because she destroyed my business. She really
destroys your business. How?
She called people talking about me. She went to I go to this store all the time.
Called who, sir? You're being
this
very
young
vague.
lady and my partner in another business. She went up to the place where we purchased the cabinets.
And told them what?
I'm a bad person. I did her wrong. She was up there acting. I mean, I just can't even say. It was just too much to even say.
Okay, you're not showing me defamation though. You are
Takesha.
Takesha.
Yes.
What do you want to say about this? What are you a witness to?
I'm here for as far as the threatening harassment.
Okay.
Because she started to harass me.
Okay, how?
She started texting my phone. I didn't know who it was initially until I had to hire a private investigator because they started threatening me and talking about, you need to have a gun, you should be afraid. I know where your daughter works.
Do you have an example of these messages?
Yes, I do.
May I see them, please? Why don't you just hand my bailiff your phone?
Okay.
Let me take a look.
Yeah, there are several. Those are all the screenshots.
And I understand that you submitted at least one of these screenshots to the court. So you get this anonymous message, your scary A needs to get a gun, and then you get another one and it says, how does it feel to live in the ghetto when Mike comes home to me every night? So this is supposed to be another woman, quote unquote, sending you a message about him?
Yes.
Okay. He don't want you, and I know where you live and work. You are just another one of his many hoes. And so you're getting these messages. You hire a private investigator, and what does that investigator tell you?
Well, they weren't able to tell me exactly.
Do you have any evidence here with you today that you can show me that substantiates she was the one sending these? How do you know? I'm asking her this question.
Well, I didn't do it.
This is her evidence.
The private investigator has a printout of the phone, all the phone numbers.
Do you have any evidence to prove she was sending you? What do you have?
Well, this is the thing. No,
you're not producing the evidence, and all I want to see is the evidence.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Here's what I find. Obviously, the two of you had exchanged words, okay? The voicemail that you played for me today, you're cursing at him, he's cursing at you. It's going back and forth. Now, this is interesting, these messages that you're getting, these anonymous messages, but you don't have enough proof for me to say, oh, it's definitely her. for me to make a money judgment in your favor for defamation and harassment. The only issue that I find in this case that I have enough evidence to rule on is the money that was left over from the $4,000 that she paid you for the cabinets. You went in, you did measurements, you went to the home improvement store, you ordered the cabinets. The question is, what is that worth? I'm here to tell you it's not worth $2,500. Okay. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. Your counterclaim is dismissed.
Okay, I'm glad I got some of my labor money back. I'm just glad it's over. He was bullying me, and I won't be bullied by a man.
When you do a job, it's just more than just going in and doing a house. You got vendors and suppliers, and I don't think she understood what the lady did to not destroy my business, but hurt me going into the store doing business with them.
A long-distance truck driver and his former landlord find themselves at a dead end when items go missing after an unexpected eviction.
I'm a truck driver. I'm not always in town. I always let him know when I'm in town, I have your money, let's meet somewhere, and I can pay you the money.
For October and November, he stayed on track with what he said he was going to do. But mid-November, December, wasn't anywhere close to what was happening.
So you're not telling me something about this case. What happened? How long were you in jail?
And later, a tumultuous love affair as an on-again, off-again couple in court battling over the cost to fix a busted window.
Our first date, we were both handcuffed in the back of a police car, so that should have been my red flag.
Well, she became very controlling and very possessive. It just got worse and worse as time went by, and it got to the point where I really couldn't take it anymore.
So you go over and you find out that she's there, and you decide to do what?
Plaintiff Robert Mazik says the defendant evicted him from his apartment and kept his personal belongings as blackmail to get more money. He's suing for the value of his property. Defendant Robert Tanguma says he doesn't know because all the belongings were moved into storage, and Robert took advantage of his kindness. He's countersuing for unpaid rent.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Mazik versus Tanguma.
Thank you, Juan. Robert Mazik?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Robert Tanguma.
Yes.
For $5,000, the value of property you say he's responsible for.
Yes.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $2,130 for unpaid rent.
That is correct.
So I understand you leased a home from the defendant for a period of time in Dallas, Texas. You were a tenant there. Why don't you start from the beginning and tell me what happened?
On April 2015, I had to move, so I went online on Zillow.com, and I seen her residence, and I went over there to his residence, and I've seen the place. I gave him a deposit, and
How much did you give him for a deposit?
$900 plus the rent, which was $1,800 and change.
What kind of tenant was he? Did he pay the rent on time?
He did not. His first month's rent was late, 8 days, and then June was... he was late on the 9th, then the 10th, and then the 15th, and it slowly got worse and worse. And finally in October, I basically was pleading with him, hey, get this thing on time, and he didn't, so I filed eviction paperwork.
Okay, so you were evicted or did you leave on your own?
No, I was not evicted.
Okay.
When I moved into the place, I'm a truck driver, and I told Mr. Tanguma when I got the place, I'm a truck driver, I'm not always in town.
Okay.
But when I always let him know when I'm in town, I have your money, let's meet somewhere, and I can pay you the money.
So October, when he moved for eviction, because you didn't leave, you stayed there for 2 more months, November and December, right?
And I can explain that, Your Honor.
Did he pay November and December rent?
Well, he pleaded with me. He said, hey, Mr. Tanguma, I have a son at the house. He needs to go to school and everything else. So I was like, I
How old is your son?
15.
Okay.
I said, okay, if we can get a schedule together of getting paid and getting back on track, we'll go ahead and move forward. And that's what we agreed to do. For October and November, he stayed on track with what he said he was going to do.
Okay.
But mid-November and December wasn't anywhere close to what was happening. November's rent, he finally paid in December the 14th.
Okay, is that true?
He got it in December, because I said I came back in town.
And you don't think that's a problem?
Now, I would let him know, because I said I was a truck driver, and I'm not, and
okay,
I can't
even
always...
if you let him know, you did not pay rent in November.
Yes.
You paid November's rent in December. That's a problem.
Okay.
And that's really getting to the crux of this lawsuit and what happens in December.
Right.
Tell me what happened in December.
Okay, December 28th, I was at work driving my truck, and an officer stopped me to do a DOT inspection. And while he was doing the DOT inspection, he
Department
found out,
of Transportation?
Yes. He found out I had a bench warrant. So, which means he arrested me for having a bench warrant. I had a bench warrant for, a possession charge.
Possession of what?
Marijuana.
A possession of distribution amount?
No,
or,
just having it in my possession.
Okay, so just a marijuana possession.
Yes, and I paid the bill for the whole ticket, but what I did not know is that when you're on probation, you have a probationary fee.
Okay, so you had a warrant because you hadn't paid certain fees associated with this possession charge, and so they arrested you.
Yes.
What happened? How long were you in jail?
70 days.
When did you find out that he had been arrested?
I found out January the 7th. He called me.
So the entire month of December, you didn't know where he was?
No idea.
Had you been trying to reach him?
I had. I had text communication. I had communication with him until the 18th of December, where I had back and forth conversations and text. But after the 18th, I did not hear from him, and on December the 30th, I filed for eviction again.
When I got arrested on the 28th of December, that Wednesday, I contacted Mr.
May I see the
Tagliabue.
text messages? How? How did you contact him?
Off of a jail phone, I called him and told him I was incarcerated and told him that this is where I'm at and that I will have a family member contact him to pay the rent.
Did that happen? Did someone pay the rent?
No, he told me he did not want it. He wanted me out of the property.
So is that true? He contacted you after he was arrested?
He contacted me.
This conversation, did it happen in December or January?
No, the first conversation I had with him after he was arrested was the 7th of January. And he requested, hey, I'm in jail. Can I stay at the property? I said, can you pay for December and January because it's due? And he says, no, I can't. And
May I see your phone? Are these text messages on your phone?
Yes.
May I see them? He asks you on December 18th, when will I get rent money? You tell him next weekend. This is December 18th. And on December 28th, which is how I know you didn't have that conversation with him right after you got arrested, he writes to you, what happened to giving me rent this weekend? I cannot allow you to fall 2 months behind again. If I do not hear from you today, I will start the eviction process tomorrow. You don't respond because obviously you can't because you're in jail. Yes. He writes to you again 5 days later, January 3rd. I have not heard from you in over 2 weeks. Due to that fact, I have started the eviction process. You did not contact him from jail during this time period. He has no idea you're incarcerated. No one's told him, given him that message. You have not spoken to him at that point. My question is this: did you pay December rent?
I was incarcerated.
So you did not pay those 2 months of rent.
Coming up, additional details emerge about the missing belongings.
What happened to the things in the home?
He had some helpers move them out, and they had free choice in picking of all my stuff.
And later, a torrid love affair ends with a violent outburst and a broken window.
I couldn't help myself. I picked up a piece of wood and I just cracked him.
Plaintiff Robert Mazik says Robert tried to extort money from him. He's suing for the value of his property. Defendant Robert Tanguma says he doesn't know because Robert's personal property was put into storage for safekeeping. He's countersuing for unpaid rent.
Tell me about your lawsuit. You had items in the home.
Yes.
What happened to those items?
I spoke to the gentleman, Mr. Tagliabue, and I got him in contact with my sister so that the stuff could be moved. He had some helpers move them out, and they had free choice in picking of all my belongings.
Not true, Your Honor.
What I have in my storage is 2 beds, a refrigerator.
Who moved those things into storage?
His handyman.
You said he had helpers move your things into storage.
Yeah, he
Who
was
paid
not
for
present.
storage?
My sister.
Do you have proof that your sister paid a storage bill on your behalf?
I don't have it with me because when all this took place.
No. This is your lawsuit.
Okay.
This is your lawsuit.
I don't have the proof.
I don't accept testimony that I don't have it with me. I will not accept that. This is your lawsuit. You are suing about your things that were in storage. That is one of the most critical pieces of evidence you could bring with you. You don't have it with you because your sister was not paying the storage. The defendant was. Show me the proof of the bills. I still want to hear your case, but I'm just telling you, I'm one step ahead of you.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to have to be truthful and tell the truth. Who paid these bills?
I paid the bills, Your Honor.
Did his sister ever give you money for storage?
I got paid the $300 for the storage, but after I paid for all 3 months. It wasn't, I had already paid for them, but I got reimbursed.
So you were reimbursed?
I was reimbursed,
okay,
yes.
that's what I need
That's
what I need to understand. So you paid 3 months of storage, January, February, March.
That is correct.
Which you submitted here, and his sister reimbursed you when? In March?
It was March the 10th, I believe, when she reimbursed me.
March 10th. Okay,
Yes.
so now do we have an understanding? You know why that's important? Because if something happens, you're incarcerated, you haven't paid rent, he has no obligation to move your items into storage, to pay storage fees for 3 months. And fortunately, your sister came and was able to reimburse him. But he's gone way over and beyond anything that he has to do as a landlord. You have a son who's obviously living there. What happened to your son? He was there by himself?
No, he wasn't by himself.
Who was with him?
It was a young lady by the name of who was there with him and took care of him and made sure he had food.
Who is she?
A woman that I know and that my son knows.
Okay, but you have not proven your case to me. You can't prove your case. There were too many people. God knows who else was in the home. You don't know because you were in jail. But you certainly can't prove to me that the defendant stole your items. And by the way, this is a man who paid 3 months of storage for you. If he really wanted to steal them, he would not be paying 3 months of storage, sir, to keep your items in storage, and your sister reimbursed him. You are countersuing for rent, back rent. You don't get that either, and I'll tell you why. Because I read through the text messages on your phone, and you decided to settle this entire case with him. You told him if he paid you a certain amount after he got out of jail, and you send to him the key, release the storage, and here's all your things, you can pick it up. So you made a negotiation, and you settled that before you ever came into court today. He mailed you the money. You gave him access to his items in storage. Both cases are dismissed, but judgment is for the defendant.
I did everything in my power to make sure I took care of him and his family and took care of his stuff, and he didn't see it that way, so I'm pretty upset about that.
I don't got no dislike towards the man. I just wish he wouldn't have took my stuff or had his helpers rob me of all my belongings.
Plaintiff Preston Smith says the defendant has been an obsessive lover since day one, and she busted out his bedroom window in a jealous rage. He's suing for money owed for property damage. Defendant Barbara Shiflett says she doesn't know because Preston was seeing other women, and his lies triggered the incident that led to the property damage.
Preston Smith.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant Barbara Shiflett?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $1,500, you say she owes you for breaking the window to your home.
Yes.
Why don't we start from the beginning? Give me some background on you and your relationship with the defendant.
Okay, I started dating Barbara back in 2010.
Our first date, we were both handcuffed in the back of a police car, so that should have been my red flag.
What
That's
happened?
where you kissed me first.
Yeah.
What happened?
He was speeding down a really heavily trafficked street.
And both of you were arrested and
Yes.
put in the back of a police car because he was speeding?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you do wrong?
Nothing. They just took me with them.
Any particular reason?
Well, no, I guess because he was kissing me in the back. Just as I don't know. They just took me with them, and they wanted to.
I have a feeling there's more to this story.
Oh yeah, there is.
But I have a feeling I don't want to hear it.
You don't want to hear it. You don't.
So we're going to move on.
Yes.
So what happened here?
Well, she became very controlling and very possessive, and it got to the point where I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go out with my friends, and it got to the point where I really couldn't take it anymore. So, I mean, I'm also a caregiver. I'm a caregiver for an elderly lady, and there'd be times that I'd call home to talk to her, and when she was there, and she would literally rip the phone out of the wall because I was talking to the elderly lady. And,
Did you do that?
No, ma'am. It fell down off of the wall because it was just the way it was put up. It was all just rigged the wrong way.
Right.
It's just half done. It wasn't done properly. I did maybe one time mess with the wires so she couldn't play on the internet on her games because she was mean to me.
So you sabotaged an elderly woman's internet service so she couldn't play games because she was mean to you.
She was totally mean to me and lied to him because she just had a little place in her heart for him and not me.
It's not
and
true.
I'm his girlfriend.
It's not true.
But there's a lot more to all of this as far as what catapulted our relationship going downfall. It's that a girlfriend of mine knew me and him, but he didn't know her. where he was having an affair with his ex-girlfriend, okay? That was initially,
what
to make
she's
a long
talking
story short, she was the one in the bedroom when I busted the windows.
Oh, so you admit to breaking the window?
I'm sorry, I had to, because...
Why?
Because he lied to me. Earlier that day, excuse me, can I just talk for a minute? I'm just going to take us right to why I broke the windows.
2 months at that time, and I hadn't even seen her in a month prior to this.
Okay, but still, the fact is, the girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, the first time I ever met her, she stole my Gucci purse, okay, and that tells me what type of person she was, and he stayed with her.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the couple takes their crazy to the next level.
And the next thing I know, I was out cold. I mean, for like the next 3 hours.
Wait, you think she drugged you?
He passed out because he was tired.
Plaintiff Preston Smith says Barbara broke his window in a fit of jealous rage. He's suing for money owed for property damage. Defendant Barbara Shiflett says she doesn't know because Preston triggered the incident.
So you go over and you find out that she's there, and you decide to do what?
We talked earlier that day.
Okay.
And, you know, our relationship's been on and off for a few years. We're just trying to get it together because at one time we truly loved each other. I got the man's name tattooed on me 3 times across my chest, my back, my arm.
Well, that sounds like a personal problem.
And
I
know. And so today, when I talked to him and I said, well, maybe this is the time that we're going to maybe get it right. So I found a half a gallon of Southern Comfort, his favorite drink. So I go to take it to him. And I always go to his bedroom window because he can't hear the front door at night. I recognize this voice, this lady. I said, this is his ex-girlfriend. Ma'am, I've been a baseball player for 20 years and a softball pitcher, and I couldn't help myself. I picked up a piece of wood and I just cracked him. And it was just a home run, okay? That's all I seen was red. And it's really hurting me so bad. And I don't think I'm responsible for the fact of how he broke me down hard and just totally set me up.
May I see the photos, please?
You can see that it was boarded up and hadn't been fixed at that point, but it's actually a big hole.
So all 3 of these window panes were broken?
Technically, it's all 4.
So you broke all 4 of the windows. You couldn't make your point with just one?
No, I was a state champion softball pitcher.
What do you say happened?
I heard the sound of crashing of glass, and I woke up. All of a sudden, I heard Barbara's voice, and I realized what was going on. At that point, I looked at a girl next to me, and I said, I'm going to go out and try to calm Barbara down. And when I do that, I want you to slip out the back and just get in your car and go. And yeah. So I did that. I went and got in Barbara's car, and we sat for a few minutes. She handed me, it was either orange juice or cranberry juice or something at that point. And the next thing I know, I was out cold. I mean, for like the next 3 hours. I wake up.
Wait, you think she drugged you?
He didn't drug him. He was busy. He was physically exhausted.
That's the only thing I could think of. I mean, I was out.
She said it was Southern Comfort.
Yeah.
You said it was orange juice.
That definitely wasn't Southern Comfort. I wasn't drinking. I didn't even have a sip of the Southern Comfort.
So you think she drugged you in the car and you passed out in the car?
I can't say for sure, Your Honor. But
excuse me, he passed out because he was tired.
I just want to make sure I'm clear about this. Your defense to breaking his window that night, which is what he's suing you for, is that he drove you to it.
Oh, totally, he drove me to it. I mean, because he crushed my world all over again.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
You said that you were able to track who he was communicating with on his phone. How was that?
I had an app on my phone, ma'am, because when he had my phones, he didn't know I paid for premium, and I had everything uploaded to my account.
Okay.
So I have everything on picture, calls, text messages, and everything.
Phone.
No, my phone. He had my phone. He swiped my stuff.
That's not true. It was my phone.
Got my phone.
And she got a hold of these pictures and posted them on the internet, on YouTube, I believe.
Because he would take mine sometimes, and it uploaded everything. He didn't know that.
Did you put the photos on the internet?
I made a movie.
Since you admit to breaking the windows, you said that you did so because you were angry and upset because you caught him with someone else. That is not a defense. You cannot then go and destroy someone's property. You should be happy he did not call the police.
I can't help it.
Well, you're going to have to help yourself or you're going to end up in jail. Because someone else may not be as nice to you when you go at 5 o'clock in the morning and bash their windows in with a 2x4. Because if you damage property, you're going to have to pay for it, which is what you're going to have to do today. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on the estimates for the window panes, my judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $700. Good luck to both of you.
was just unfair because, you know, even though the windows were broke, I was totally provoked and it just escalated.
I've learned to be more careful with my choice of women.
Exes caught up in a he said, she said dispute, battle over belongings that went missing after their breakup.
He had a lot of trust issues. He said that I would be cheating on him. He would search the phone, find nothing.
She would text her ex, oh, I can't deal with him. He's such a mama's boy. I don't even love him anymore or anything like that.
Was she cheating on you?
And later, a stand-up comedian and an emerging promoter disagree about the terms of an agreement to host and headline a Chicago comedy show.
When it comes to promoting, you really have to promote. You have to get out there, shake hands, kiss babies, even the ugly ones. You have to invite them as well.
Of course, I was doing my promotion. Like I said, we printed up to 100 flyers plus the social media.
But you agreed to be a part of his first show that he's promoting. Why?
Plaintiff Stephanie Mendoza says the defendant kicked her out of their home after accusing her of cheating, but won't return her personal belongings. She's suing for the return of property. Defendant Ramon Duran says he doesn't owe because Stephanie stole his property and maxed out his credit card. He's countersuing for loan money, the return of property, and credit card charges.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Mendoza versus Duran.
Thank you, Juan. Stephanie Mendoza?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Ramon Duran,
Yes, Your Honor.
for $489, the value of property you say he's failed to return to you?
Yes.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $2,254.
Yes.
Money loaned. Also, the return of property you say the plaintiff took without your permission, and credit card charges.
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with you, Ms. Mendoza. Give me some background.
Well, we met like 2014. I was pregnant with my baby, and
The two of you met when you were pregnant?
Yeah.
With someone else's child?
Yes.
Okay, but the two of you eventually started dating, sir?
Eventually, yeah.
Okay, and how
So,
long did the two of you date?
We dated for about almost a year.
Why did you break up?
She was always picky, nagging. She always just complained about everything I used to do. Like, I work 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, so I'm rarely home.
I broke up with you.
And what was the issue? Why did you say you broke up with him?
Yeah, because he started being trust issues. He had a lot of trust issues. He said that I would be cheating on him. He would search the phone, find nothing, always, all the time. It started in June, before we even moved together, that he started doing all that, checking my phone.
So you say he was insecure?
Yes, he was very insecure.
Is that true?
No, it's not true, Your Honor.
Two of you broke up. You have very different reasons why. And you say you purchased a dresser, baby crib, and a baby high chair.
Yes.
And that he failed to return these items to you.
Yes.
So why didn't you take them with you when you moved?
Because he took all my stuff out of the house in bags and dropped it off in front of my dad's house, and I never got to go in to get any of my stuff.
So you're saying he put you out?
Yes, he did.
And he took your things and he took your things over to your father's house, but your dresser, crib, and high chair were left in his house?
And other stuff, yes.
And you never had the opportunity to go back?
No.
What day did this happen?
Christmas Day.
This happened
It
on
was
Christmas
Christmas
Day?
Day, yeah.
Cold world.
Yeah. Not like that, Your Honor. All right.
Yes.
Christmas Eve, I kicked her out. Christmas Day, I returned her stuff to her dad's house.
What about the dresser, crib, and high chair?
So I've been trying for the past 3 months, from January, February, and March, to get her stuff to her.
No, he did not. I asked him to, and he said no.
Did he ever tell you to come and get your things?
Nope.
Okay.
I have evidence and text messages on my phone. Yeah.
Okay.
No. Right there, she clearly says, I'm going to go when you're not there. Pay it up. I told her I'm changing the lock to the house. She said, you can't.
Okay.
If you do that, I'm going to call the association and get you into more debt. And
You write to him, I'm not getting it today, and you can't change the locks because it's not your house. Why would you write to him that you're not going to get the things today?
Because he wanted me to do it on Christmas Day. I couldn't rent a car. I couldn't find a way to do it.
Ma'am, I just asked you, did he ever tell you to come and get your things, and you told me no. Clearly, that's the conversation that's happening here, and you tell him, I can't get it today. I'm going to ask you again, did he ask you to come and get your things?
That day, possibly.
Okay, possibly? Yes. The answer is yes. And you told me before no.
Well,
okay, so that's the first lie you've told me today. So you're telling me after this day, he never let you back in?
After that day, no.
Goodbye, Stephanie. See you in 2 weeks. If you want the rest of your stuff, if not today, that's fine with me.
The thing is, my dad didn't want me around him.
Ma'am, you gotta stop.
Coming up, do text messages reveal a different story?
These text messages indicate that your brother wrote to Mr. Duran.
That's my brother's word.
No. Do I look like I have Boo Boo the Fool written on my forehead?
And later, a stand-up comedian demands payment from the promoter of a failed Chicago comedy show.
So what's the relevance of you giving them drink tickets?
That was coming out of my pocket. I was supposed to get 10% off of the bar.
Trying to get us drunk enough that we'd forget to get paid.
Plaintiff Stephanie Mendoza says Ramon won't return her personal belongings. She's suing for the return of property. Defendant Ramon Duran says he doesn't owe because Stephanie stole his property. He's countersuing for loan money, the return of property, and credit card charges.
What's your countersuit about, sir?
I'm countersuing for about, in the time of November, I bought a watch and a necklace. And about 2 days before I kicked her out, I called her hiding one of the stuff away, but it didn't click to me in the head.
Hiding?
Yeah, she was hiding the watch box inside an iron box.
So this watch and this necklace, you're saying you don't know anything about it?
Nope. If he has the pictures of it and in the box and everything, he should have the stuff.
That's old pictures of when I bought
Why
the
do you
item.
say that and you live in New York now? Why do you say that she took these things? How are you going to prove that?
A while back, she had lost all her paperwork, her passport, social, and the baby stuff in the house that she says. But I know because I looked throughout the whole house, and her brother messaged me, "Hey, I saw your watch and I saw your necklace.
Where?
If you want,
when was this?
In New York.
He was
I have the
bribing
text
everybody
message.
that he would give them a flight if they would find.
I told him, I'm like, I'll give you a reward if you give me back my necklace and watch.
My brother will take anything he can.
And then her brother
How
messaged
do you know
me.
about this conversation?
Because I was right next to my brother.
So your brother is lying to your
Yes.
ex-boyfriend, telling him that you have a watch and necklace, that you stole it because he wants a flight to Miami?
Yep.
This is interesting because you said your brother was trying to get a flight. And these text messages indicate that your brother numerous times wrote to Mr. Duran telling him to look for your paperwork, your passport, and your paperwork. And that once Mr. Duran would return your personal paperwork, the watch and the necklace would be returned to him.
Yep.
So,
That's
no. Y'all must, do I look like I have Boo Boo the Fool written on my forehead? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to put 2 and 2 together about what's going on here. So I have your brother writing him, the stuff is in New York. I can't get that stuff to show up unless those papers show up. He writes, he's seen the watch and the necklace. He knows exactly where it is. I think you took the watch and the necklace. Your brother is simply asking for one thing, and that is your paperwork, whatever paperwork you're looking for, period. It is clear to me that your brother is communicating on your behalf, and your brother tells him that he will return the watch and the necklace, which are in New York with you when he finds your paperwork. I have one message after the fact here. Do not interrupt me. I have one message after the fact here where he tells you, return the watch. After he's told you, by the way, you can come and get your things. After I see 2 Snapchats where he's told you, you can come and get your things, I have another message down the road after he realizes the watch and the necklace are gone, after your brother tells him he's seen those items in New York, where he tells you, return those things. I have no problem giving you your stuff back. He had no problem from day one. Your claim is dismissed. My judgment in this case is for the defendant. For the value of the watch and necklace, I believe you took. You had every opportunity to get your items, and you chose not to do so. Judgment for the defendant, $525.
It was a fair decision. I didn't get what I was asking for, but I'm pretty happy with the outcome.
They didn't really hear my whole part of the story, but in the end of the day, oh well, what can I do?
Plaintiff Sean Monroe says the defendant failed to properly promote his comedy show and then tried to pay him in drink tickets. He's suing for money owed for a hosting and headlining fee. Defendant Will Spiller says he doesn't owe because Sean understood the event was a financial bust and everybody involved lost money.
Sean Monroe,
Yes, ma'am.
you were suing the defendant Will Spiller
Yes, Your Honor.
for $2,000 you say he owes you for a hosting and headlining fee that was never paid to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so why don't you start from the beginning, sir? Give me some background on you and how you know the defendant.
I've known William for about 17 years. He moved into my neighborhood. His mom asked me to take him under my wing. I did that. He was kind of like the little brother I always wanted. He wanted to be a basketball player. Jan, I got bad knees, but I was at the park with him, with the knees bad. I was up there with him. He wanted to be a rapper. Hey, let me make a phone call, put him right in the studio. Made some phone calls, put some money up, got him in the studio. We didn't have a hit, but we were there. Okay. We were there. We were there. And he wanted to get into promoting. He was a rapper / basketball player. And I explained to him that it's not as easy as it may look.
Sir, what do you do for a living, Mr. Spiller?
Well, I'm an artist, and what I do is I make music. So I have music on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, what have you. I do shows all around hip-hop. Okay. So I do shows all around Chicago. I've thrown my own shows before, things like that. So this was pretty much me just expanding my brand and going into comedy. So I've already threw many rap shows and stuff like that, but being on the scene with him, like I say, me and him have been supporting each other for years. I've been to a lot of his shows, things like that. So I was seeing the...
And you said in your statement you're also into a little bit of editing and a bit of fashion designing.
Yeah, I have a brand, get used to it, with clothing and everything like that. I shoot videos for other artists around the city and edit videos as well. You got it. Yeah.
So you're kind of like a jack of all trades. You do a lot of things.
Correct. Master of none.
Okay.
According to Mr. Spiller, he's very good at all of his jobs, according to him.
I am very good at what I do, Yana.
So you decided you wanted to get into promoting. Why is that?
Well, like I said, I've already been in promoting. I promoted my own shows and for other artists and things like that. It was just that I was transitioning over into comedy. Okay. So I've did many rap shows, things like that. So like I said, it's just that going out with him.
He's a comedian. You're a comedian?
Yeah, yes, he does comedy. So I just pretty much wanted to go into that area.
And you wanted to do a comedy show in Chicago.
Correct.
And this was going to be your first comedy show.
Correct.
So you approached him about headlining the show.
Correct. So
Tell me about that conversation.
I warned him about how it cannot go. Because you come in and you see these promoters and they're always drinking and they got girls around and you think that you can just tell people to come to a show and you're gonna make all this money, and it just doesn't work like that. When it comes to promoting, you really have to promote. You have to get out there, shake hands, kiss babies, even the ugly ones. You have to invite them as well. And I think that he solely relied on a social media platform, which it doesn't work that way. It's real easy to tell people, yeah, I'm coming, to click yes.
But you agreed to be a part of his first show that he's promoting.
I did.
Why?
Because he agreed to pay me. He asked me how much I charge. He didn't ask me to do him a favor. I told him I charged $2,000 for everything he wanted me to do. He wanted me to headline the show, host the show, as well as help the other acts.
What do you say the agreement was between the two of you about the comedy show?
Like I say, we agreed for $2,000. It was just for him to host a headline. I'm not sure about him helping with other artists and
stuff like that. Okay, but you agreed to $2,000.
Yeah, I agreed to $2,000.
Okay, and you say you didn't get paid any money, but you showed up to do the show.
I showed up.
What happened?
First of all, I don't even write a date in my book without a deposit. And I told him that.
But you made the exception this time.
I did make the exception. I did make the exception.
So why did you go up on stage?
Well, because my name is still on that flyer, and I can use as many fans as possible. So I'm not really in a position to turn down stage time.
Okay.
Coming up on Judge Fade, more details emerge about the failed event.
I had a silent partner.
Your partner, does he show up with the money?
No. I explained to him that my silent partner let me know that he wasn't going to pay anyone before they didn't show up to the venue because he's been burned in the
past. But now that they're there, okay, he's done the show. What is the reason he hasn't been paid?
Plaintiff Sean Monroe says Will tried to pay him in drink tickets. He's suing for money owed for a hosting and headlining fee. Defendant Will Spiller says he doesn't know because everybody involved lost money.
So what happened that night?
So I get there and I say, okay, I'm here. What's going on with that deposit? And he starts talking about he needs to talk to a big homie or a big dog or a big buddy or big whoever. I said, well, make a big phone call and for my money. Get him here. So at that point, he gives me about 4 drink tickets. I say, okay, I'll take the drink tickets. Thank you as a courtesy. And I want to say maybe 30 minutes later, now I'm wanting to start the show. The other comics are asking questions. The audience members are like, hey, when is the show going to start? And I'm still waiting on him. It's not my show.
Did anyone else ever come?
No, I want to say there was a total of about 29 people.
Okay, 29 people. And so you performed that night?
I did perform.
And did you ever get paid any money?
No, I
that's
did
why
not.
you're here. That's why
I'm
you're
here
suing.
Exactly.
So what happened? You told him you would pay him $2,000. None of this is in writing, but you admit that you told him you'd pay him $2,000. He performed. Why haven't you paid him?
Well, like I said, at the beginning of the conversation, which he left out, was that I had a silent partner.
Your partner, does he show up with the money?
No. I explained to him that my silent partner let me know that he wasn't going to pay anyone before they didn't show up to the venue because he's been burned in
But
the
now
past.
that they're there, okay,
Yeah.
He's done the show. What is the reason he hasn't been paid?
Well, before the show, I was giving out drink tickets. I was being in good graces with everybody.
Okay.
Even his guests, I was giving drink tickets to, food to make sure everybody was okay.
So what's the relevance of you giving them drink tickets?
That was coming out of my pocket. I was supposed to get 10% off for the bar.
Trying to buy us off and buy time, hoping to get us drunk enough that we'd forget to get paid.
What's happened to your relationship since then?
Like I said, I haven't really spoke.
I called him the night of the event, straight to voicemail. Called him the next day, straight to voicemail.
They don't ever answer their phone when they owe you money. I'm gonna tell you.
And so 2 weeks
That's
later,
false, Your Honor.
2 weeks later, he answers the phone with a "Hey, brother" kind of accent. You know what I mean? Like, "Hey, we all good?"
No. Your Honor, we had that discussion
I
that
don't
night.
know if Will Smith came at Men in Blacked him with the beep boop and he forgot that he owed me. But when he picked up that phone, it was clear that I don't think he had any intentions. So he actually came and gave me another drink ticket.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Even if you have a silent partner, I don't know if this person exists, by the way, because it's not my first rodeo. And I have people who come in here all the time when they owe money and they say, well, I had this person, this other person, somebody else who's not here to confirm anything that you're saying that was supposed to pay the money. And you want me to believe that everyone performed knowing that they might not get paid because the responsibility was solely on another individual when the only person he spoke to and had a conversation with was you. Okay? So, you try a lot of different things. You said you're into a little bit of fashion designing, a little bit of editing, a little bit of rapping. You're an artist. Promoting just may not be your thing. I don't know. I'm sorry?
I know, and it's not his thing. Ever.
So, judgment in this case is for the plaintiff. You owe him $2,000, and I'm ordering you to pay him the money that you promised he would be paid for the services that he rendered. How was the show, by the way?
Silent.
Okay.
Silent. I've never heard myself blink before, but yeah.
Well, hopefully things will get better for you. Good luck to both of you.
If you want to promote a show, you need to have all those people paid up front, and you will probably be the last person getting paid.
I'm gonna keep doing my thing and promoting. Just look out for me, people.
A family brings their weed-smoking grandma to court over a red light ticket received on a road trip to Sam's Club.
Inez has become a deadbeat granddaughter. She'll pick up her friends, she'll smoke a little weed in my car, and honestly, I'm just sick of it.
Because I'm grandmother, I'm the oldest. I'm supposed to do what I want to do.
So when it's time for her to go to Sam's, just know you're not going to get your car back within an hour. It's going to be a while.
And later, a recently divorced couple from Missouri that discovered they weren't equally yoked battle over an unpaid credit card bill.
I just started seeing some red flags that maybe the life we had planned together was not what I had expected.
She stated that she thought it was okay to tell our child it's okay to be gay.
The way I was taught in my church, come as you are. Judge not, lest ye not be judged. But, that's just the way I was taught.
Plaintiff Inez O'Neill says her grandmother used her car to run errands, smoked weed in it, and received a red light ticket. She's suing for an unpaid traffic ticket and car detailing. She's accompanied in court today by her cousin, Darrell Macklin. Defendant Inez Durham says she doesn't know because she was never pulled over by the police, and it's really her granddaughter's ticket. She's countersuing for an insurance payment.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of O'Neill versus Durham.
Thank you, Juan. Inez O'Neill?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Inez Durham.
Yes, Your Honor.
For $115.
Yes.
$75 for a traffic ticket and $40 for car detailing?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $300 for an insurance payment for 1 month?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And you have a witness with you today, ma'am, Darrell Macklin?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So we'll start with you, Miss O'Neill. Give me some background. Tell me what's going on here.
Okay, well, first of all, Your Honor, I would just like to say I love my grandmother, and we're always been really cool, really close up until today. On May 9th, I let her borrow my car, and, you know, that's what granddaughters do. We help our grandparents out.
Do you have a car, ma'am, of your own?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay, and so this is your granddaughter?
Yes, Your Honor.
And have you always had a close relationship with her?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
You live in the same town in Ellenwood, Georgia?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
How far is that outside of Atlanta?
It is inside the city limits of Atlanta.
It is?
Yes, it is.
Okay. The two of you have the same first name?
Yes, Your Honor.
So she's named after you?
Yes, Your Honor. After
Okay.
birth. I named her after birth, Inez.
You named her?
I named her.
So you are her namesake?
Yep.
So the two of you had a close relationship over the years, and now you're in court?
Yes, Your Honor, because Inez has become a deadbeat granddaughter, and I'm here today to sue her for the money that she owes me for the car because I co-signed with her to get the car. And it's much my car as it is hers.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, what do you have to say about that?
Yes, she did help me get the car, but she has never made a payment on my car.
Okay.
And yes, that is my grandmother, and I'm going to help her out. But on that day, I let her use my car to go to Sam's Club, okay? And I told her, look, go straight to Sam's Club, come back, don't have nobody in my car, don't make no pit stops, just go there and come back.
It seems like this conversation should be happening the other way around. Normally, when people come in, it's the grandmother telling the granddaughter this, but you're telling her this because why? What's the history? What's the background here?
Okay, so grandma...
She's been picking up her friends in your car, going to Sam's Club, making the rounds?
She'll pick up her friends, she'll smoke a little weed in my car, and honestly, I'm just sick of it. Like, I always have to go get my car detailed once she use it, and getting car detail ain't free.
You're
It's not
smoking and
free.
driving in the car?
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
and your friends?
Yes, Your Honor. It's my car, too. I signed with her, Your Honor.
If you're going to smoke, why can't you do it at home? Why do you have to do it in the car with your buddies?
Well, we be out having fun. I don't have no air. It's hot. It's hot in my car. I don't have no air in my car, Your Honor. So when I borrowed her car, we just happened to just hit one.
But you do understand you're not supposed to be smoking weed and driving.
Coming up, does the evidence tell a different story?
Do you have proof that there was a ticket?
Yes, because there is a video.
Yes, I know I'm on camera.
And they got you.
But they didn't get me. I can prove they didn't get me, Your Honor.
And later, an unpaid credit card bill brings a recently divorced Missouri couple back to court.
So I contacted him to ask him if it had been fraudulent charges.
I waited for the bill and never showed up.
Is there any reason why you feel you're not responsible for the payment?
Plaintiff Inez O'Neill says she's done with her grandmother's irresponsible behavior. She's suing for an unpaid traffic ticket and car detailing. She's accompanied in court today by her cousin, Darrell Macklin. Defendant Inez Durham says she doesn't know because she's old and can do whatever she wants. She's countersuing for an insurance payment.
You don't want to get arrested for smoking weed and driving, do you?
No, Your Honor, but it's just I have arthritis in my hand and it was hurting.
If you have a medicinal license to smoke, okay, you're not supposed to do it while you're driving. So you're picking up your friends, you're smoking, you're going to Sam's Club, and what's going on? You're keeping her car, she said, for hours at a time. Why?
We went into Sam's Club to shop. Well, you know, we love to shop. They be giving all them free samples, and then you go back there, you look in the returns, what's been returned, been marked down, and I'm looking for the bargains. So it took me a little longer.
I know how this works because I know from the elders in my family go to Sam's Club, and it's going to be an afternoon.
No, it shouldn't take that long to go to Sam's Club.
How many hours was she at Sam's?
She didn't get back till like 3 hours later.
3 hours at Sam's Club is not unreasonable.
It don't take long to get some samples.
She's smoking weed. She has the munchies. What can I say? Who's your witness?
My cousin, Darrell.
What do you have to say, Mr. Macklin? Step over.
Yes,
what are you a
Your
witness
Honor.
to?
I'm the plaintiff's cousin, and I'm the defendant's nephew. She does smoke weed because we smoke weed together.
She's not denying it.
I know.
Why are you outing yourself?
So I'm not outing myself. I'm setting up the scene. We would smoke weed in my car, so she probably thought it was okay to smoke weed in Inez's car as well. When she goes to Sam's Club,
I don't think she thought
it's
it was
nothing. Okay. She does think it's okay. Everything she does, she think it's okay.
Because I'm grandmother. I'm the oldest. I'm supposed to do what I want to do.
So when she goes to Sam's Club, it's never just Sam's Club and Mac. It's that 3 hour limit. They stay 5 minutes from Sam's Club. So it doesn't take 3 hours to get to Sam's Club and back.
Y'all
so
don't
when
understand. Your grandmother is retired. Okay? She has certain places that she likes to go and spend her time. Sam's Club is one of them. So when it's time for her to go to Sam's, just know you're not going to get your car back within an hour. It's going to be a while. They're going to take their time. They're going to go through Sam's. I'm telling you because I know how it works with the elders in my own family. The question is, though, did she get a ticket on her way to Sam's? Do you have proof that there was a ticket?
Yes, because there is a video.
I know cameras is up there, Your Honor, because my daughter's a police officer for 21 years. Yes, I know I'm on camera.
And they got you.
But they didn't get me.
Let me see the video.
They didn't get me.
The video.
They got you.
They didn't get me, Your Honor.
That's you.
I can prove they didn't get me, Your Honor.
You got on the same wig that they got you with.
No, this is not a wig. This is my hair. That's not me, Your Honor.
That's your hair, Grandma? What color is your car?
It's red.
Okay.
There she go right there, Your Honor. That's her right there.
Yeah, that's me, but that's not me driving that car.
And the light is red. The light red. You just
that's not me.
And let me see the photo. I mean, the light had been red for about 5 seconds when the car went through the red light. And what date was this?
May 9th. And let me just say something, Your Honor. She didn't even tell me that she went through the light. I had to find out a month later.
I don't think she knew. I think there was a good chance she didn't know. She was preoccupied.
Your Honor, I have proof. I can prove that was not me driving Inez's car.
How are you going to prove that?
Because I have my bank statements where I was in California right here. I left Atlanta June 28th. I stayed in California until May 13th. It was my birthday and Mother's Day.
April and May. May I see that?
For the month of May. Inez got the ticket May 9th.
Right.
May 9th, I was in California. Look on my bank statement. I was at Food for Less, sliding my ATM card. And at Wells Fargo in Compton, California, on those dates.
Ma'am, does anyone else have access to this account besides you?
No, ma'am.
What were you doing in California?
It was my birthday, May the 4th. It was Mother's Day, May the 9th. And my grandson graduated June 4th, so I left Atlanta May 28th.
April 28th.
April 28th.
April 28th.
April 28th.
Okay. Where did he graduate from?
He graduated from St. Albert Christian School.
Where's that located?
In Compton, California.
She's right. She was in Compton. She was at Food for Less. That's her bank statement. She was at Food for Less on the day that you got this ticket, so someone else got the ticket in the car. With regards to the car insurance, did your grandmother ever, before this court case, did she ever come to you and ask you to pay back that $300?
No.
She never mentioned
ever.
it? Okay. What were the circumstances when she paid the $300 for your insurance? Was that when she helped you get the car?
Yes, that's when she helped me get the car.
So that 1 month of insurance, and that was when? Back when?
That was about 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago?
That was 2 years. I had the car for 2 years.
You're suing for one insurance payment you paid 2 years ago?
Yes,
okay,
Your Honor.
so
Let me
here's what we're
explain
going
this,
to
Your
do.
Honor.
No, ma'am. Clearly, you were helping your granddaughter out when you paid the $300 insurance, and you're now countersuing because you're upset because she's suing about this traffic ticket. Based on everything I've heard in this case, I think that she should pay for detailing for your car, and you said you've had it detailed multiple times. So I'm going to order her to pay for 2 car details for you, and I'm doing that because perhaps that will be the incentive for her to stop smoking weed and driving your car. Okay, so judgment in this case in your favor in the amount of $80. Counterclaim is dismissed. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Grandma,
Mama, I love you, but if you don't stop smoking weed in my car and drive, and then I'm gonna have to cut you off with my car, period. You just have to be hot and drive your own car.
You may can't smoke in somebody else's car, but I feel like I'm part owner of the car, and I did take a chance, and I did smoke in her car, but I won't smoke in it anymore.
Plaintiff Jessica Needham says she divorced the defendant because they had different outlooks on life, and he owes her for a credit card bill. She's suing for credit card charges. Defendant Christopher Airy says he doesn't owe because Jessica stopped communicating with him, and they shared expenses throughout their short marriage.
Jessica Needham?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were suing the defendant Christopher Airy
Yes.
for $1,023. You say he owes you a credit card payment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Correct? So why don't we start from the beginning? Give me some background. How do you know Mr. Airy?
Chris and I met October-ish of 2014. He was pastoring during the week in the evenings at a church in our town, and I was attending. And so we sort of became friends. Then we started dating. One of our first dates was actually going deer hunting, though we didn't end up shooting anything. We talked most of the time.
Okay.
So we got engaged a couple months later. I moved in.
A couple months after you met?
Yes. We were married June 20th, 2015. And then shortly after...
So that's less than a year after you met?
Yes.
Things were moving pretty quickly.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes? To any particular reason why you were in such a hurry?
I thought she was the one.
Okay, that's a good reason. Had you been married before?
Yes, it'd been about 10 years.
And you were a pastor, what kind of church?
Well, I was a full-time pastor at a Baptist church, and where I met her was at Celebrate Recovery, because I was leading that, and she showed up there, and that's how I met her.
Okay, and are you still a pastor now?
No. Well, I feel like I can't because going through a divorce.
But you'd already been divorced before, right?
That was before I learned God. That's
Okay.
before I met God.
Well, that's unfortunate
Mhm.
because people, everyone's human.
Right.
And we all go through things in life, right? No one's perfect. And I think a person who has real life experience and who can teach other people about that in church, that's great. The way I was taught in my church, come as you are. Judge not, lest ye not be judged. But, that's just the way I was taught.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the exes argue over credit card charges made after their divorce.
I didn't tell her that I'd have it take care of it by the end of the week.
I have it in a text message right here in front of me that you did.
Why are we here now? Is there any reason you haven't made the payments?
Plaintiff Jessica Needham says Christopher agreed to pay her back. She's suing for credit card charges. Defendant Christopher Airy says he doesn't owe because Jessica stopped communicating with him.
So how long were the two of you married?
6 months or so before I left, and all in all, maybe 9 months before the divorce was final.
So everything happened quickly?
Yes, very quickly. It was just a couple months after we were married, I just started seeing some red flags that maybe the life we had planned together was not what I had expected.
For example?
We took sort of a militaristic view of the world, that, God was telling him to sort of take up arms and we needed to move to Central America and sort of walk there and live there and protect people from the end of the world, and decided that this was not the sort of life that I wanted to live and that I wanted to get out.
That's her side of why the marriage failed. What do you have to say about that? What's your side?
I met Jessie at Celebrate Recovery. Like I said, everything she said happened, and I fell for her. And she had beautiful eyes, beautiful smile. And we talked about having children. Mm-hmm. We even went and talked to the baby doctor and was making plans. And then we sat down and had a conversation about how we were going to raise children. Mm-hmm. And she stated that she thought it was okay to tell our child it's okay to be gay. It's one thing if my child is gay and comes to me, I'm still going to love him, okay? But I can't promote that because I made a promise to God. It's not like that I'm a gay hater, but I got to take a stand.
Well, like the church took a stand against you when they said that you couldn't pastor anymore because you got divorced, that kind of stand. It's just interesting to hear you turn around and say you have these certain beliefs about gay people and their role in the church as well. After the two of you were divorced, you claim that Mr. Airy made some charges on a credit card. Can you tell me about that?
It was a Lowe's card. It was under my name, used my credit, and then he was an authorized user on it. You can imagine I was surprised when I got the statement, it was about mid-April, saying that there was a charge for $1,038.
Okay.
So I contacted him to ask him if it had been fraudulent charges. And he said that no, it wasn't fraudulent, and he was going to pay it off at the end of that week.
So you made some purchases at Lowe's. Is there any reason why you feel you're not responsible for the payments?
I didn't tell her that I'd have it take care of it by the end of the week.
I have it in a text message right here in front of me that you did.
I told her that I would try to get a hold of them and try to get things switched over.
Did you have the card canceled?
Before I texted him the first time and sent him the statement, I had it canceled.
I'd like to see a copy of the credit card statement. I guess that brings me to the point of this, which is, because you aren't getting the bill, she is.
Yes. I waited for the bill and never showed up.
But okay, at this point, you know it's been 3 months, right? The bill is only in her name, it's not in yours, and now these charges are on her account. What is your defense, sir, as to why you have not paid this balance now that you know all of this information?
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
You told her, you wrote in a text message, I'm getting ready to pay off the bill Friday. This was back in April. So it's been several months. Why are we here now and the bill hasn't been paid if you know it's in her name? Is there any reason you haven't made the payments?
I got the first bill. She sent me the letter.
Okay.
I immediately called her. I paid the minimum payment.
My simple question is, why haven't you paid it? And it's now many months later.
I tried to pay it, but there was a zero balance.
And so the next step is, you obviously know she paid it off, so that means you pay her instead of Lowe's, right?
Yes, that's right.
All right, Pastor, I'm just trying to make sure we're on the same page here, you know?
Yes, ma'am.
I know a little bit about what the Bible says, too. You know what else it says? Owe no man anything but to love one another. $1,023, judgment for the plaintiff.
I wish she never got impatient and the bill would have got paid and everything would have been just fine.
It's hard to be patient when my credit was being directly affected by it. I felt that this was the best, most direct line of action to take.